This week on the Race Report, you'll see action from Champion Speedway in Owego. We wrap up our series with Rusty Smith and a big event coming to Watkins Glen this Saturday. All that and more on this edition of the Race Report. Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Race Report. I'm Ron Hills. Champion Speedway in Owego wrapped up their 26th season on Sunday afternoon with some speedway bike and three-wheeler action. The announcer is James Eggleston.
Waiting for the gate to pop, and there we go, we're off. 128. Dante Mitchinelli out front. Close riding. We have a new leader coming around. Donnie Anto, number 8, followed by Andrew Spear. But the 128 of Dante will not be denied. Track already a little dusty. Leader out to a comfortable lead. Andrew Spear looking to take it. Nipping a little every lap. Coming to the white flag this time through. It's like Dante's going to walk away with this maybe. Oh. Andrew Spear, your leader on the last lap, followed by Dante. Oh, that's the number 8. Donnie Anto with the win. 4 of them up on the line. This is a vintage race. There goes your gate. Who's going to get the hole shot? Fred Morrell with a hole shot. Into 3. Second place, hotly contested. Here comes a 4th to bring it up, make it a party. Fred way out in front, gonna walk away with this. The battle's for second. Zach Morrell takes the outside and loses his place. 375. Silas takes it right back. The old inside out move. Second place, hotly contested. Taking that inside line, Zach Morrell, side by side going into 1. Your white flag lap for Fred Morrell. The 24, Matt Kemp in second. Stevenson third, and Zach in 4th. And your win, Fred Morrell. There goes the gate. What a hole shot. Ryan Rappa really putting it sideways. Taking that inside line. Comes the number 89, Chris Headley. Side by side in number 2 coming out, and it's going to be side by side going into 3. Headley taking the inside line, denying Rappa. Oh, he takes it way wide, looking for some cushion. Rappa going to take it. Lines him up nice, coming out of 2. Looking to exploit his mistake. Oh! Chris is on it. Oh! What happened there? What's going on out here, boys? We had a conversation. Number 82 is going to take exception to that. Oh! And the winner goes to the guy I have no number for. Youth ATV on the line, waiting for the start. And here we go. We had a bit of a jump, but we're going to let that slide. Heading into 4, we've got 3 out front. Holly, oh, out to the wall. Goes Hitchcock. We got a race out front, and we'll have a new leader coming out of 4. 3 wheels. Looks like a modified out there. That's the number 14 of Tyler Ackley. Followed by Jaden Hitchcock. That's your race out there. Oh! And that's why they race him. Jaden Hitchcock out front with a commanding lead. Anthony Spear bringing up 3rd. Jaden Hitchcock way out front. Jaden gonna possibly put a lap on the field. Takes the white flag. Oh! And here we go. Here comes Jaden Hitchcock with the win. He win for Jaden. Racked up, ready to go. Here we go. Casey out front, Oakton in 2nd, followed by Bradley. Ron Walker in 3rd. Casey out front. Dave Oakton hot on his trail. Ron Walker in 3rd. Casey looking around. White flag for Casey. Dave Oakton right there. Oh, he gets a little off it. Ron Walker in 3rd. And here you go. Checkered flag. Casey Donald. Dave Oakton. Ron Walker. Mark Bradley. And there goes the gate. Parsons in the middle, fighting the whole shot. Parsons out front. Middle. Out front, Parsons hotly contesting. 2nd lap. Parsons in middle, battling it out front. Oakton in the back. Your white flag for Adam Middle. Out of 2 they go. Parsons going to keep him honest out there. And Adam Middle with your win. Parsons in 2nd, Oakton in 3rd.
This Saturday, the International Motor Racing Research Center in Watkins Glen will host a presentation on Trans Am racing. The panel will include Tommy Kendall, Butch Leitzinger, Judy Stropus, Chuck Cantwell, Woody Woodard, and Don Cox. The presentation begins at 1 p.m. and is free to everyone. The center is located at the Watkins Glen Public Library, 620 South Decatur Street in Watkins Glen. For more information, log on to racingarchives.org. More from Champion Speedway later in the broadcast, but when we return, Leon Andrus wraps up his 3-part series with Oxford, New York driver Rusty Smith.
You're watching the Race Report on Fox 40.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City has the best pricing and selection of audio, video, and computer cables in the area. Don't spend a fortune on that HDMI cable for your new HD TV or Blu-ray player. Unicorn Electronics has quality cables in the lengths you need at a price you can afford. Expanding your network, Unicorn has the patch cables and accessories to make it happen. When you need to connect, think Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City.
98.1 The Hawk, number 1 for 20 in a row.
This is Jason Aldean.
Hot new country.
This is Luke Brown.
And kiss tomorrow goodbye.
This is Charles, Dave,
and Hillary.
And we are
Lady Annabella.
And I don't know why you don't take me downtown anymore.
Binghamton's Hot New Country.
This is Carrie Underwood.
Every tear soaked whiskey memory blown away.
Binghamton's Hot New Country. 98.1 The Hawk.
The Maine American Legion on Route 26 is hosting a Halloween night trunk or treat to make this Halloween safer for our kids, and they need your help. Dress up your street rod or race car and bring it to the Maine American Legion from 5 till 8 on Halloween night, and don't forget some candy for the kids. If you'd like to join in the fun, call or text Bob Seeley at 607-760-3502 or Ron Hills at 607-727-9399. See you there. Welcome back to the Race Report. Rusty Smith is the third generation of Smith drivers from Oxford, New York. He's found success on both dirt and asphalt.
That's a great time to, to thank your sponsors, your crew, whatever you want to thank. This time to do it.
I mean, first and foremost, by far, Blue Ox Energy Products. Everybody that's familiar with the 34 car, whether it be asphalt or dirt, knows that Blue Ox Energy Products is a huge part of my race program. They've been sponsoring us for over 30 years. They started with my father, and they've continued that on to me. And they're just a local business in our town that it's a pretty big deal, but it's a pretty big deal for them to support us for over 30 years. And the rest of my guys, a lot of them are family-oriented and local businesses, but I by far couldn't do it all. Smith Productions is my Uncle Tiger. He used to race at Shangri-La for years. He's a big supporter. My Uncle Larry owns a storage unit business. It's a pretty good deal, and he helps us out tremendous. Oxford Motors, a local business in downtown. They were, Donnie Golden that owns that was part of my dad's racing. Back when he first got started in the 70s, he was the body guy that painted and did all the detail work on my dad's. Al Smith Riggin are some guys down here in the Johnson City area that have done an absolute phenomenal job to keep that business going in the right direction after some unfortunate stuff. Allspec Auto Finishing, they are a powder coating company down here on Clinton Street in Binghamton that just do a phenomenal job keeping my cars looking the way that they do. If I need something taken care of, I can go down and get it powder coated and it's back within 2 days and looks brand new. And those are the parts that mean a lot to me. Cummings Auto Machine has helped us the last 3 or 4 years at maintaining our motor program. And other than a rocker arm brake, and again, I think that's the first engine issue we've had in probably like 13 years. So,
wow.
And that's nobody's fault. That's just a part that decided it was time to go. So, by far, huge thanks to Cummings Auto Machine. And obviously, my dad and I, we get up every day and go to work. We got the same goal in mind. That's to make as much money as we can to blow whatever we can on race cars. And we look forward to doing that for many more years.
There you go. And I guess before we leave, the one last question we always do when we have a guest on the race report, and I know you're going to tell me because your father had it. We always ask, where did the number originate from? Obviously, it's a family, but do you know why he chose the number 34?
I made sure before my grandfather passed that I got the real story on the 34, and he was asked, I don't know the gentleman's name, but he was asked to drive a race car 5 Mile Point. I would say it must have been in the 50s, and this guy asked my grandfather to drive the car, and obviously he said yes, and the number happened to be 34 on it, and that's what he drove. And I don't know, that's how he got the number, and that's how it got into our family. Now, what happened with him continuing on with the number or keeping it, or if he bought the car, I'm not sure. But when that happened, then my dad got into it, and then he got the number, and then I'm thick-headed, so I want my own number, and I always like the number 44 because it was like 10 more than 34, and it still had a 4 in it. So that's what I always raced when I raced go-karts and when I raced my Ford Pinto, my street stock, my Sportsman. But there was a very large group of people in our town and on our race team that followed it and said, when your dad's done, you are taking number 34. And I didn't want to, but I understood the meaning behind it. So, right. And by far, the best decision of my life as far as a number could go, because it's a huge family tradition. Now my boy, he runs number 44. He picked up where I'm at, and I told him you can have 30. Or no, I didn't tell him you can have it. You're gonna have it when I'm done. So as long as I'm racing against him, which I'm hoping that's very soon, we'll run 34 and 44, and then when I'm done, then he's gonna get the 34.
Well, that's really a great story.
Yeah.
So legitimately, as I'm thinking, so I actually lost it. You're actually the third generation.
Yeah, we all have different middle names. My dad's middle name was after his mom's father, and my middle name was after my mom's father, and my boy's middle name is after his mom's father.
Right, but they're still
we're all still Gordon Smiths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I promised my grandfather before when I was starting to have kids that if I have a boy, his name will be Gordon, to pass it along. And thankfully, he got to meet him, he got to see him, he crawled all over him, and he was like, I think he was 2 or 3 when my grandfather passed away. But
that's great.
But yeah, he by far knew who my boy was, and that was cool.
That's great. Tell us your best, whatever was your most gratifying win, and then on the flip side, what was that one I had it and it just didn't come? Well,
I think that I've been fortunate. I've not won millions, but I've won a lot of big races, and it's not the big ones I don't think that mean a lot to you. It's the moment or the day that built up to that, and it was by far my first asphalt modified win. I had come so close at 18 years old, 19 years old, and I was so close, and so I was putting so much time into it. I wanted to win, and they were slipping away, and it was irritating me. And I went into the season 1999, and I told everybody, this is it, man. I was so frustrated. If we don't get some results and keep this car together, I might be done. And we came out of the box, guns a-blazing, and that was when we were running against George Kent, J.R. Kent, Lee Sherwood, T.J. Petrobowski, even Ed Conran, Ken Canestrari. These are guys that I raced against for years that were winning races. So you had to have your stuff together to go there and compete, and I beat them all one night, and that was the coolest thing, and I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget how the race played out, and I'll never forget how many pictures we took afterwards.
Well,
so it was going to be my first modified win. It was 19 years ago, and I'll never forget it, and it was the biggest one for me because I was at a point where I'm not saying I was going to quit, but I was getting close.
All right, that's understandable, yeah. Like I said. So now what's that one that it just seemed to get away? You thought you had it.
Well, I don't know if I was going to win, but the race that got away from me was my very first 200 up to Oswego. I had never raced in a modified qualifying. They got half a qualifying in, and then it rained out. They ran it a couple weeks later. I was not there the first week. I came back the next week, and I had to run a consi. I started 32nd in the feature, and I don't know what happened, but I found it, and I started making my way to the front. We pitted, put 4 tires on, and I came back out. I was wearing an open face helmet that was my dad's because it was the only one we had that had a radio in it. My lips were so chapped by lap 100 when we pitted. I was asking for chapstick. But we came back out, and I was so fast through 3 and 4 on the outside and down the front stretch. And we had got up to, I just passed Randy Hedger, and in front of me was Siege Fernandez, George Kent, and Jan Leedy. And the caution came out, and I just passed Randy Hedger amongst a lot of others to get to this point, and I passed them all on the outside in 3 and 4. 40 laps to go, and I'm the guy on the move. And under caution, I looked down, and the radiator, the water temperature was pegged, and I was hoping that it was just a bad gauge. And when they dropped the green flag to go back, the engine completely blew up, and I had to coast in. But I got out of that car, and that was cool. I felt awful because this was the biggest opportunity, the biggest race. 200 laps at Oswego was the first ever one there. And I was coming. I probably wasn't going to win, but boy, it looked pretty good with 40 to go. So that was the one that got away, and I think we told the story this last weekend because this is my 20th year up there. There was a story that was told many times here this last weekend, how that one kind of got away. Ended up being a hole in the radiator.
Right. Well, like I said, you might not have won, but you're the one on the move. You feel good. I could just picture your lips being.
Oh man, I was the only race I ever wore an open face helmet in. It was the 200, my first ever modified race, and I can assure you, my first purchase was getting a radio put in my regular helmet because I could not do that. So the joke for quite a while was they actually taped chapstick to the dashboard for the next 3 years at that race.
That's great. So before we close, is there anything that you want to tell the folks out there?
I just want to remind everybody, this is a great show. For one, I have it DVR'd and I watch it all the time. But we got to make sure we go to the racetrack. That's the bottom line. I think that the local racing in our area, I think, is doing well. It could be doing a little bit better, but I think our car counts in our area are by far exceeding my expectations of supporting a racetrack, and I'm very proud to be at Afton because I think not only do we have what I think is a fair amount of race cars, but we have a good group of race cars, and each of what I call the 3 premier divisions, I think that it's second to none. The guys that are there are very courteous and very polite about racing with each other, and we all have the same goal in mind, and that's to push it on the trailer at the end of the night. People just need to keep going to the racetrack by far. Not just everybody, but my fans in general. I think everybody gets a little too lazy a little bit with the social media. It's easy to not go because you got the results like you were there. But there's nothing like actually being there. People need to just keep going to the racetrack. And I'm looking forward to next year by far. I'm looking forward to finishing this next month up. We got a real busy schedule coming up, and I'm by far looking forward to next season.
Well, that's great, and I can second that. Get out and support your local speedway, no matter where it is, because it's a tough nut to crack. I don't want to see any speedway closed for any reason.
For $20 to go out and get 4 or 5 hours worth of entertainment, as far as I'm concerned, is way better than sitting on the couch playing on a computer or watching TV for that matter. So for the $20, I say, man, do it at least once a weekend.
There you go. We appreciate you being here, Rusty, and here we are again at Brothers 2 with the race report. Right.
For 3 generations, we've been building world-class American performance.
Like the new Edelbrock Power Package Top-End Kit, based on Edelbrock's powerful RPM crate engines. Each kit includes aluminum heads and intake, cam and lifters, gaskets, and hardware to build your own 400-plus horsepower Chevy small block. For 3 generations, it's pure American performance from the leader. Call now for your free Edelbrock catalog.
Edelbrock makes them right here in the USA.
The Maine American Legion on Route 26 is hosting a Halloween night trunk or treat to make this Halloween safer for our kids, and they need your help. Dress up your street rod or race car and bring it to the Maine American Legion from 5 till 8 on Halloween night, and don't forget some candy for the kids. If you'd like to join in the fun, call or text Bob Seeley at 607-760-3502 or Ron Hills at 607-727-9399. See you there.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyer's program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Welcome back to the Race Report. We take you back to Champion Speedway in Owego. Once again, the announcer is James Eggleston.
Brian Raffa also showing a lot of speed. But Chris Headley has ruled the day. Dash for cash, and it is off. You're a whole shot. Chris Headley. Marshall in second. Raffa in third. Oh, we got a little schmuzzle there. Chris Headley out front, where he's been all day. Raffa followed by Marshall. Chris Headley out front, way out front. Out of two comes Raffa. Raffa and Marshall, a hot battle for second, but second doesn't, oh, Raffa, around he goes. Chris Headley out front. Marshall now can just take it easy. Your white flag for the money dash. Chris Headley out of two. Marshall, Raffa, Every, and your winner, Chris Headley.
Please join us Monday night for racing trivia at Brothers 2 on Watson Boulevard in Endwell. Trivia starts at 7:30. This week's bonus answer is Brett Bodine. This Saturday, the International Motor Racing Research Center in Watkins Glen will host a presentation on Trans Am racing. The panel will include Tommy Kendall, Butch Leitzinger, Judy Stropus, Chuck Cantwell, Woody Woodard, and Don Cox. The presentation begins at 1 p.m. and is free to everyone. The center is located at the Watkins Glen Public Library, 620 South Decatur Street in Watkins Glen. For more information, log on to racingarchives.org. For all of us here at the Race Report, thanks for watching. Until next week, I'm Ron Hills, and I'll see you at the races.
And we are off, and we are racing. Adam Middle with the whole shot. Adam Middle in the three. It's Casey, it's Adam. Into one they go. It's Parsons on the outside, way on the outside. Adam Middle. Coming out of four, finds a bump. Adam Middle, Casey Dunhold, Parsons, Oakton. It's your white flag for Adam Middle. Casey Dunhold right behind him, not going to give up. They go into three, they're coming out of four. It is Adam Middle, Casey Dunhold.